Been an eventful week on the markets. Investors were shocked by the surprise win of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump in the United States. His election saw the rand and other emerging market currencies tumble on concerns about the possible adverse consequences of his policies on emerging markets.
The rand weakened sharply in late afternoon trade yesterday as it experienced delayed reaction to Trump's victory. It's expected that his protectionist policies will have a negative impact on emerging markets. The rand was at 14.33 against the dollar before midday today, after it closed at 14.12 yesterday. The Reserve Bank data shows the country's gross reserves rose $601 million to $47.8 billion in October from $47.2 billion in September. The increase in gross reserves reflected bond issuance and foreign exchange swaps. Economists say the level of reserves is unlikely to change significantly in the short term, as the Reserve Bank's ability to accumulate will be limited by higher market volatility and unfavorable growth prospects. Growth in mining production increased by 3.4% year-on-year in September from 0.1% in August. The outlook for the sector remains poor on the back of low commodity prices, weak global and local demand, domestic infrastructure constraints, and an uncertain policy environment. Manufacturing production recorded no growth in September compared with the same month a year ago. Next week, SABC will release the quarterly labor force survey that will indicate the rate of employment in the economy. Data on retail sales will also be released on Wednesday, telling the story of the health of consumers under the difficult economic conditions. SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, with that, let's take a final look at the markets. More news with Natasha coming up at the top of the hour on Channel 404. Up next is your weather with Zieti. He can tell us what to expect in terms